Hey, what's up everyone? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and per many viewer requests, we're continuing down this road of re-reviewing some of the Spider-Man figures. I imagine that's mostly due to the fact that the movie's coming out soon and people want to see what figures are out there. So I'm happy to review these guys a second time. If you missed it around the first time, this is a good opportunity to see these figures up close and in detail. So this is the good version of Electro. He was either in the Sinister 6 or Fearsome Foes, I believe Sinister 6 box set. You'll know based on the title because I'll look it up after I shoot the video and correct that, but I believe it was Sinister 6 off the top of my head. And this is really the only good version of the classic Electro that we ever got in the 6-inch scale. There is a very, very similar version, but he's got his hands in permanent poses with holes in his arms to shoot kind of this gimmicky electricity bolt. And I personally don't care for that. I much prefer this kind right here, so that's why we're taking a look at this. He stands just about 6¼ inches to the top of his head, that is at the black part, and add on that yellow crown of electricity up to 7 inches tall. Pretty good design. There are some pieces of him that are directly taken from the Angel body, which was used a few times. But it really doesn't look like a repaint in most cases, mostly due to the fact that he does have some unique sculpting on him and some pretty nice paintwork. So again, I do really like this figure. One of the best things about it is the face and head. The face itself is sculpted and painted really well, and then the way this mask is a separate piece, it really creates a nice depth to the look of the figure. It's got kind of a shimmery metallic look to it also. Paint job is good. Like I said, the head is sculpted really nicely. Looks really natural. I really enjoy the head sculpt on this guy. The body, while a little thin, I think it suits Electro perfectly, and I don't mind the way they incorporated the butterfly joint on this guy. It's actually one of the best implementations of that butterfly joint that I've ever seen on a 6-inch figure, so kudos for that. The head articulation, standard hinge with a peg for the neck. Up and down, no problem at all. The good old days when figures could look up and down very easily, very naturally, side to side, no problem. Ball hinge shoulder, sure they're a little bulbous, but that happens. You need to have the articulation somewhere, and it's better to have a shoulder a little big than a little small because it'll throw off the look completely. And then, like I said, that gorgeous butterfly joint, sure it's not completely natural, but it is way more seamless than most other figures, so it's really quite effective. You can get the arm across the chest pretty nicely. We have the bicep swivel right there, double jointed elbow, complete 180 pretty much, a wrist swivel at the glove, which is nicely sculpted with the lightning bolt, wrist pivot, finger pivot. Again, it's one of those finger pivots that's pretty useless, but it is there. Slightly different sculpt in each hand. This one's a little more open, this one has some curl to the finger, so maybe put him in a stance like this, like he's getting ready to shoot his electricity. I don't know, looks pretty cool to me. We have the lightning bolt on that as well. The musculature is pretty organic looking. There's nothing too blocky or squared off, so I do like that. Ab crunch works really well. Waist twist works just fine. T-jointed hips, pretty good range of motion. I think this is just a really well thought out figure. Despite being largely a repaint, it suits this guy perfectly. Thigh swivel right there, double jointed knees, great range of motion, really nice shape to the articulation once it's posed, so I do like that. We have a boot swivel right here, ankle pivot. There's an ankle rocker, though it pivots pivots more to the outside than to the inside. Sorry about the stuttering, guys. Working on a little bit of sleep here, but we'll try to get through it anyway. And then he has a toe pivot, which is actually firm enough to support him, so very well done, very well done. The yellow paint, which is usually a problem for a lot of figures, isn't so bad on this guy. It could be a little bit better, but it's not going to jump out at you as being poorly done. The lightning bolts on the torso look good. They go all the way down, so when you use that ab crunch, it works just fine. The yellows don't quite line up in terms of color and vibrance, but it's not too bad. Any of the parts that they could mold, they actually molded in yellow and gave it kind of a glittery effect, so that's really nice. The lightning bolts down the side, again, very well done. Not perfect, but there's not too much to complain about. Actually, the worst part of all of this is where they molded the upper shin, or the shin itself, in yellow and painted green, and the green is actually bleeding a bit. So that's not ideal. And then we have actually green pegs with yellow paint that chips off. So that's not the best situation. But it's not enough to detract from this pretty awesome figure. So if you are looking for an Electro figure that doesn't look like a guy from the Blue Man Group, this is probably the one for you. I recommend it 100%. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned for more figure reviews, custom figures, and other good stuff. And in the meantime, keep collecting.